Liverpool, what was that? They destroyed them. I'm just sort of tongue-in-cheek, but they beat Man City. I thought Liverpool on the counter-attack looked absolutely fantastic. I thought, listen, I'm not Salah's biggest fan, right? I know he's a fantastic player, but I thought he was excellent. He looked different. He looked like
you're giving him credit.
He looked like he changed his game, like he was passing and wasn't as greedy. Thiago, I mean, every single week I get the feeling we're just going to go, oh my goodness, he's just different, isn't he? He's just a Rolls Royce of a player.
Incredible.
Question marks over Jack Grealish? I heard Tony Cascarino say he better be careful, otherwise they'll loan him back to Aston Villa. I don't see it like that. But what I will say is if you had the option, Man City fans, of Grealish or Sterling, I wonder who you'd take. We can throw one of those questions out there because I just thought a game like that, right? I'm a big fan of Jack Grealish, but I get the feeling that he can't turn a game like Sterling used to. He won't get the ball, run at pace, beat a few players, get to the byline and cross it in. That's not what Jack Grealish does.
I think he's still trying to bed into this Manchester City way. Sterling's a big miss, and Chelsea have got him. Really good signing, I think, for Chelsea.
Great signing.
I think Grealish will get better, but listen, he's the top player, Grealish. I mean, you don't go for £100 million if you're not.
I agree.
He's the poster boy of English football. We know how much when he plays for the national team, there's this outcry of him to start games. But it's just taken him a bit longer than I would have expected him to settle in. But the talent's there. He's got all the attributes.
What is it? So with Sterling, we know what he's about, right?
Yeah.
He gets the ball, he runs. Okay, we know that.
Yeah.
What is Jack Grealish's...
Well, Sterling is his biggest attribute is without the ball. He's, as you said there, he's not made so much beating players, which he can do.
Just pulling defenders away with him.
And just running in behind.
And opening space, yeah, okay. But with Jack Grealish, what is his best attribute? What does he do? Because we know what he's like with the ball, and he tries to dribble, and he gets fouled a lot. We know that. But that's not really his game, is it? Their game plan is not to win free kicks just outside the area. They like to keep the ball.
Exactly. I think with Jack, what he does do, he can attract 2-3 defenders at one time. He can hold onto the ball, and that just generates space for other players. But for whatever reason now, it's just not working for him yet. As I said, I don't think he's been poor, but he's not maybe hit the expectation. And probably himself, if you had a conversation with him and yourself, he'd probably say, I probably would have expected more from myself, but I think there's the best is yet to come from him. But it'd be disappointing. Certainly Manchester City, the way they played against Liverpool, I thought it was a good game of football. Both teams, which I really like to see going at it. And I love when these two teams get together because neither team wants to lose. As I've said before, whenever two top teams play against each other, at times you get one that's a little bit on the fence. Oh, I don't want to lose. These teams don't care. They take the handbrake off and they go at it hell for leather. But as I said, Liverpool came out on top at this time.
Can I say, sorry, before you talk Liverpool, who would you rather have, Sterling or Jack Grealish?
I would like Sterling because I love Sterling. I think Sterling's a top player.
Talk to me about Liverpool.
Oh, I like what they do. The pace, the way they press Man City as well.
Frightening.
And the midfield three, Henderson, who showed that he's still one of their best, Fabinho, Thiago, they just stifled Manchester City in the middle of the park. And then the substitutions, Diaz, I like him, but when he brought on Nunez, oh my god, with that player, what a guy! Because people criticised him pre-season.
Yeah, which is stupid to do. Isn't it?
Someone put a kind of a montage of his misses in pre-season, but he scored 4 in one half. I think that was against Salzburg, I think, if I remember rightly. So he scored the 4 against Salzburg, but he showed what he's all about against Manchester City. The first through ball, I think it was Diaz that he ran away from. I remember thinking, I didn't think he was that quick. Ran away from Diaz, probably should have scored. Good save from Ederson. His goal was, even the penalty, comes on, pulls off.
It wasn't handball, was it?
Yeah, it was handball. He probably should score the header, though.
I thought he was bringing his hand down to get out of the way.
Either way, he's always going to go against him.
Okay.
I thought he probably should have scored the header. But then the goal that he does score, typical poacher, in and around the 6-yard box, directing the header, really, really, really good impact. And I think he will score goals in the Premier League, I really do.
Haaland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it almost looked like, for me, when I looked at the way Liverpool played with Nunez, they knew exactly what he wanted. So the moment someone got the ball with Nunez, they just rolled it in behind and he was gone. With Haaland, they kind of got caught in between. There were times where De Bruyne is running with the ball, and maybe Haaland goes a bit early, so De Bruyne is having to hang on to it a bit more. Then when Haaland doesn't go in behind, they've clipped it in behind. So I think that's just, they're not on the right wavelength yet, but that will come because you give them opportunities to score.
We mentioned Sterling. We have to talk a bit about Gabriel Jesus. Of course, he's at your club now. His goal per game rate at the moment, he's had 7 for Arsenal, 7 goals in 15 shots, right? His expected goal ratio, which I pay no attention to, I know you don't either, but it's still 3.8, right?
It's high.
It's ridiculous. And we mentioned Sterling, we mentioned Jesus. I know they've swapped like for like, right? I get that. But they've got Alvarez and Haaland's come in. So the 2 have gone out, 2 have come in effectively. I still just wonder if it's a season too early for both. That's all I'll say, because I think Jesus for Arsenal, when he's playing week in, week out, leading the line for
He'll
you,
get goals.
he will, without a doubt. I'd like to know what odds he is for Golden Boot, actually, right? Because I think he'll score. I just wonder if Man City still have the option, a plan B, because we would have seen it yesterday. Sterling would have, when was it, Saturday?
Yeah.
We would have seen it on Saturday.
Sunday.
Sterling would have come in.
Saturday.
And Jesus may have come on as well to add goals. I just wonder if that's going to be their downfall this season. I know it's so early to even talk about that. It's the Community Shield. I get it. I understand it. But you can take something away from that game, can't you?
You can. And you look at the options. I mean, I thought he was very good again. Julian Alvarez, when he came on, he looked sharp. I thought, ooh, he looks decent. You're right. They've got the likes of Haaland there. They've got Riyad Mahrez. We know that Phil Foden can play up there. Bernardo Silva. So they have got options. Yeah. But you're right. Losing Gabriel Jesus just gives you maybe that little... But then Manchester City fans would argue and say that, yeah, he was good when he came off the bench, but he wasn't one of their standout performers. Sterling certainly was, and he's gone. But for Arsenal, getting someone like Gabriel Jesus, like, he is kind of the missing link. And the fact that he the
missing link of what?
Top four or not? Maybe he's the missing link. I'm not going to go out there and go.
No, fine, okay, yeah.
You can't say win the league.
Well, the missing link, yeah, okay.
No,
all right, no, he could make the difference between
top
fourth and fifth.
Not, exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'd agree with that.
I like Eddie Nketiah. I think he could score goals as well, but you needed someone else. But I think what's equally as important in this scenario is that Gabriel Jesus wanted to go to Arsenal. I think that's massive. Like, we're seeing what's going on with De Jong. I don't know the ins and outs, but it just seems to be taking forever.
I think they're going to name a stand after him to convince him.
Honestly, I don't understand. But with Gabriel Jesus, he kind of said, I want to go to Arsenal. They got it over the deal over the line relatively quickly. Yeah. When other big heads were in for him, and I think that's vital.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're leading up to, of course, the start of the Premier League season, which is on Friday. We're there, talkSPORT are there, Palace against Arsenal. Before that, maybe one day this week, we'll get all the big heads on drive, our gang. We'll get Producer Joe, we'll get Rylan, who's on the decks, we'll get Ed involved, and No Tan Dan as well, and you and I, to do our
Tan Dan.
to get our predictions, right, for the Premier League title, maybe, top four, top six, and bottom three. But on the back of everything I've just said, here's my question to you. From what you've seen at the weekend, Liverpool against City, has your view changed as to who you think will win the Premier League or not?
So I find it incredibly hard to move away from City. I think they'll win the league, but it's going to be them two again. And do you know what's mad? It was quite funny. People actually thought that Liverpool were going to fall off. I heard that many people say, Mane's gone, they're going to fall off. That's them. That's them.
Well, but it's impossible to know yet.
But I've heard some people say that they worried about Liverpool. Really? On that showing?
Okay, we'll do that this week, yeah? We'll do that. So you think Liverpool are going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What, Liverpool win the what?
League.
Man City.
Oh, you think Man City are going to win the league?
And Liverpool will push them all the way.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get predictions throughout the week.